welcome to SHOWstudio's video review series. I'm SHOWstudio fashion editor Georgina Evans, and I'm here in Milan reporting on Peter Pilotto Spring Summer 20. I'm waving this in your face because this was sat on each of our seats. It's a gorgeous little pochette and a bit of an indicator as to what the show had in store, but I'll get to that later. So, rather excitingly, Peter Pilotto have decided to show for the first time in Milan, and despite the duo kind of starting and kick-starting the brand in Antwerp, when we think of Peter Pilotto, we tend to think very London-centric. It's been around since 2007, and as I say, this is the first time they're venturing outside of London. So, hugely exciting, and what I thought was unusual, but actually when you think about it, Peter himself is half Austrian, half Italian, so there's a little bit of relationship there. And also they do fashion. They do fashion. They do fabric development here, they do samples here, and some of their production is here. And also, I believe it's Christopher who says that there's always a little bit of a Milanese element to the brand anyway. So there you go, not completely out of the blue. And what a collection it was. It was in a beautiful theatre, a 40s theatre, central Milan, which really suits the brand, I feel. And there's a bit of a buzz about it because it was in Milan and very exciting, and Peter Pilotto has such a huge following. When you think of Peter Pilotto, you think of wonderful digital prints, tailoring, but also this oozing femininity with kind of statement glamour. I think of Priyanka Chopra wearing an amazing Peter Pilotto dress. I think of Princess Eugenie getting married in Peter Pilotto. So it's got this real air about it. This collection, however, shaking things up. Very different to a normal Peter Pilotto show. And for the most part, a real move into casual wear. When we think of Peter Pilotto, as I just said, tends to err on the side of evening wear and glamour and that kind of level of regalness. But actually, this was much more casual. And I would argue that it was better for it. There was also the introduction of menswear, which Christopher and Peter were saying. They just really wanted to be able to put themselves in the collection, be able to wear the collection. And there's always those items from collections past that girlfriends and boyfriends have been pinching and can kind of be that begged, borrowed and stolen item. And so why not introduce menswear? And it was 20 pieces, I believe, but it was really successful. What it did was it really helped to resync the womenswear silhouette. So these really boxy, almost utilitarian menswear items against this new, slightly casual female silhouette was really interesting. And they were saying backstage it just allowed them to place themselves on the runway, really put themselves as a character into this scenario. And as I say, can really rethink the silhouette, really rethink the brand. What do we want to be about? What do we want to say? And what a better time to do it than your first show in Milan. So as I say, those utilitarian looks, really, really cleverly done because they were made of a slightly satiny fabrication, which makes me think of evening wear as well. So you've got this really lovely duality between workwear and evening wear, but then in this real fun tropicana colourway. And you were really getting a tropicana colourway throughout the entire collection. It made me think a little bit of Missoni, a little bit of Versace. And I think that's because we're in Milan. Why wouldn't you look to the Milanese greats for a little bit of inspiration colour-wise? And also, over the music, there was a little bit of steel drum, a little bit of DJ remixing, which also added to this youthful Tropicana feel. That also was heightened by terry cloth, which I believe is where this collection started. The terry cloth was big on dressing gowns, and there was one look with the guy wearing a dressing gown, which was really, really beautiful. It had this kind of inky, blotted detailing on it, and that inkiness was carried throughout the collection as well. So that's the kind of digital print we're seeing from Peter Pilotto in this collection, whereas normally it's lots of florals, and there certainly were some. It was really inky and drippy and mutated and just relaxed and so smooth. Also, there were bucket hats, which I thought was incredibly interesting for a Peter Pilotto show, but again, rendered in this really high finish fabric, so that there was nothing that felt too casual. It still had that air about it. However, saying that, there was one or two looks where there's this beautiful bodicing going on, corsetry at the front, kind of one print on the corset, one print on the top underneath, and that would sash down, and again adding to that kind of regalness. But on some of the tops on the back, they were exposed and they didn't have that kind of print carried around. It was just black. And I was like, oh, you've kind of lost me there. But I think that was two looks. So I'm just being nitpicky. And all of these items, they kind of click and adjust. So all of these looks are modular, which again adds into this Tropicana holiday, because when you're abroad, it's kind of click and adjust what works day to night, which again I think is really smart for them. Really feels like they're trying to carve out a new customer, hopefully not alienating the old customer, because there are certainly a few looks in this collection that will appease the previous Peter Pilotto. There was a little puffball green dress, and some other beautiful kind of evening wear, long flowing items. Overall, I was really impressed actually. I feel like it was a really smart move to show in Milan. It makes total sense for Peter Pilotto. I do miss the slight British centricness of it, because showing in Milan and then having all these fantastic kind of Italian colours and then feeling slightly hot temperature holiday vibes, you kind of were rid of all the British centric, like London florals and kind of air of grace, but it was so successful I don't really mind. So I'm kind of interested to see where they go next, and if the next step will be a merging of the two, or whether the kind of British centric Peter Pilotto is long far gone and it's this kind of loud, fun, fresh Peter Pilotto that's going forward. But I think it was really smart idea. The accessories, the shoes, the hats, and that mixing of utilitarian with slight younger evening wear version will no doubt do exceptionally well. I was very pleased. It was a great start to Milan Fashion Week, I would say. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Like, comment, subscribe if you're watching through YouTube, and make sure to visit SHOWstudio, where you can see this kind of cacophony of bright colours next to my review. We'll speak soon. Bye.